Well, good afternoon. This is Jim Whitehead of All Power Group, and today, we're being All Power Group and Phoenix Animal. You'll see a link at the end of this on my ending page for this presentation where you can go to my coffee channel. Hey, I just love having fun. Anyway, today I put into what I usually do homework through AI as to something in our environment, our world, that is very, very important, but no one knows about. And one reason why folks don't know this or familiar with it is you can't see it. So even if you're like blind with this and some of the things I put forth, you're not going to see them, even though it's a pretty good, accurate depiction of what we call the tardigrade. Now, I hope I'm saying that right, but the tardigrade is our world's most unsung hero. And it's my job today to tell you why. Anyway, of all the creatures on Earth, few can match the profound importance and sheer obscurity of the tardigrade. Say that fast 20 times. Also known by much more charming nicknames, not by me. One is the water bear. I know you look at it and you're going, I don't know if I would name it that. Or the moss piglet. Again, hey, I just read this, I don't write it. So, anyway, this animal is a microscopic invertebrate that is quite simply the most indestructible life form known to science. And you'll see when I describe this and what it does and why it's indestructible. Kind of, would we trade places so that we could be indestructible humans? Probably not, but anyway. It is an 8-legged, pudgy, lumbering marvel that looks like a cross between a caterpillar and a gummy bear. And it lives unnoticed almost everywhere on the planet. I know you're saying, how did I not know about this? Anyway, what is the tardigrade? Tardigrades are tiny aquatic animals, typically about 0.5 millimeters long. That's not very big. Barely visible to the naked eye. So if you're not looking for it, or you haven't collected a whole bunch together, you're not going to even know it's there. To find them, you'd likely need a low-power microscope. They inhabit the thin film of water found on mosses, lichens, and leaf litter in your own backyard. Now, I know some of you are probably running out there. They are also found in the crushing pressures of the deepest ocean trenches. Now, you won't be tested on this, but for every 30 feet you go down in, let's say, water or the ocean, you pick up an additional atmosphere of pressure. Me sitting here, the pressure on my body, and this is why I can't fly, the pressure on me is 14.7 pounds per square inch. when you go down, as I said, 30 feet, for every 30 feet, you pick up another atmosphere of pressure. So in other words, you're sitting here, 14.7, you go down 30 feet, it's double that, you go down another 30 feet, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So when they are in the trenches that are amazingly deep, some of them are miles deep, these great little things say, I don't care. I'm fine here. So on the peaks of the Himalayas, they're there too. In boiling hot springs, and have even been found living on Antarctica ice sheets. This is one heck of an animal, I'm telling you. Their unassuming appearance and humble homes hide a truly superpower. Why they are so vitally important, the importance of the tardigrade is twofold. Its role in its ecosystem and its incredible value to science and medicine. Ecological importance. The pioneer and stabilizer in their tiny world, the micro ecosystem tardigrades are essential. Pioneer species, when a new or sterile environment forms, like after a volcanic eruption, I mean, yeah, we should be modeled after their capabilities. And also, or a retreating glacier. Tardigrades are among the very first animals to colonize it. So in other words, when, well, the volcanic, they're there to get involved in helping with that. It's weird. I mean, in the sense of what needs to happen after, let's say, a volcanic eruption. Now, yes, unfortunately, our glaciers are receding. And, that's all related to climate change. So I know people argue and argue and argue. It's no point in arguing. It's basically factual. We can all maybe argue as to why, but it's happening. But thank goodness we've got the tardigrade to be involved in, again, some of these glaciers are many, 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 many years old. And so when they're receding, the land that's underneath where it's receding hasn't had the light of day, if you might say, for eons. But the tardigrade is there. Anyway, by feeding on algae, bacteria, and plant matter, they help to create a more complex soil layer, kickstarting the process that allows mosses, insects, and other life to move in. So they prepare the land for you. I don't know if too many of us would want to be going and living on receded glacier land, but who knows? It's certainly good to visit. They are microscopic vanguards of life. When I started doing this, I'm saying, something can't be this wonderful. But it is. Okay, nutrient cycling. They are a crucial link in the food chain. They consume smaller microorganisms, concentrating nutrients, and are then eaten by larger organisms like nematodes and mites. They are tiny mobile fertilizer processors that keep their minuscule world functioning. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. Now, there's a happy crew. You want to make sure wherever it is, and I know if you don't see them, it's a little hard to kind of say, well, I'm going to be very careful around these guys. You don't really see them real well. And I know they're all looking like they're, hey, Jim, come on down. But anyway, this is called poetic license in some respect. Anyway, environmental indicators. The health and diversity of the tardigrade populations can tell scientists a lot about the air and water quality of an area. So again, when scientists go into areas that have, let's say, just receded glacier or, the volcanic eruption, if they are able, and of course scientists are pretty good at, seeing things however they have to do it, but as long as they see a good population within what they're studying, everything should be okay because they're going to save the day. Now, scientific importance. The ultimate survivor, yeah. This is where the tardigrade becomes truly extraordinary. I mean, I would have thought it was already extraordinary, but that's okay. When faced with a life-threatening environment, it can enter a state of suspended animation called cryptobiosis. It retracts its legs and curls into a ball called a tun, that's T-U-N, and reduces its metabolism to less than 0.01%. That's almost not alive, but it's all it needs. In this state, a tardigrade can withstand conditions that would instantly be fatal to almost any other living thing. Now, in the extreme temperatures, they have been revived after being frozen to, this is just amazing, minus 272 degrees. Now, I'm not quite honest, I'm not sure if that's centigrade or Fahrenheit. My gut, it would be centigrade, but I don't quote me on that. Celsius. No, that is Fahrenheit. Celsius, it's minus 458 degrees. Now, okay, I get this a little backwards. Let me fix it. With Fahrenheit is minus 458, but Celsius, which is centigrade, in another way of saying it, is minus 272. Sorry, I get those backwards. But the bottom line, whether it's measuring it in centigrade or Fahrenheit, they can withstand unbelievably cold temperatures. I know you probably said, why didn't you just say that? But anyway, just 1 degree above absolute zero and heated to over 150 degrees, or in 302 degrees Fahrenheit. So you really can't destroy these. And that's good because you don't know they're here. They're everywhere, and we need them. Very, very straightforward. Also, this is pretty amazing. The vacuum of space. In 2007, tardigrades were taken into low Earth orbit on a satellite and exposed to vacuum and lethal solar radiation of open space for 10 days. What a vacation, eh? Not only did many survive, but they also returned to Earth and successfully reproduced. So you can't get them. Crushing pressure. They can survive pressures up to 6,000 times that of our own atmosphere, far greater than the pressure in the Mariana Trench. So when you take your trip down the Mariana Trench, which is, I think it's 5 miles, don't quote me on it, but they're there and they're having a good time and they're living. Now you probably, I'll get to what you're looking at now in just a second. Intense radiation. They can withstand doses of gamma rays and X-rays hundreds of times higher than the lethal dose for a human, thanks to their unique proteins that appear to shield their DNA from damage. You know, we look at these animals basically, and I mean, we think that our body and how we came about and is pretty cool. But when you study, and that's why I love doing both the Animal Channel and my Coffee Channel, it's mainly because I learned these things. And yes, I had done way back, I think a short on the tardigrades, but I didn't really go into all that I'm telling you today. Because the goal, of course, with any content creation, you don't want to just repeat things, because that's, in my opinion, you're not doing anybody a favor, including my channel. You're not going to say, well, maybe they'll forget. Well, I have some people, which I appreciate. They are going back to 2 years or more ago and picking me up on, I was doing some on weapons for folks around the world. And, folks are very good at correcting, because everybody that, or any topic that I do, there are honestly more experts that know more than I know, because I'm learning this as I'm doing my presentation or getting the presentation ready. But there's some folks that's what they do all the time. So anyway, the abilities are not just a scientific curiosity; they hold immense potential for human technology. Scientists are studying the proteins that protect tardigrade cells to see if they can be used to preserve medicines and vaccines without the need for refrigeration. And, of course, when they were doing COVID, there was always the fear that obviously before it's administered to us, it had to make sure that it was kept in a low, not freezing, but cool enough so that it didn't go bad or degrade. So anyway, now they can protect human blood longer periods during transport for transfusions and transplants. So, whenever, and I know we all have to make that decision, especially when you get to be my age, as to whether you're going to be an organ donor. But if, let's say, somebody was going to harvest, I know this is hard for anybody to talk about, but they're going to harvest my heart or my kidney, whatever. That's the good news, because I'm gone anyway, and it certainly would be an honor for somebody to have more of their life by something from my passing. And I know that's very hard for us all to sit there and talk about, but if these, when they take the organ from the donor, they have to make sure it gets to where it needs to go and not have any degrading or damage. Oops, I forget to put ice. It's like you got to do it right. Anyway, they're developing ways to protect human cells from radiation damage, a benefit for both cancer patients and astronauts. I mean, again, as I do these sometimes, I'm just absolutely amazed. And I don't make it up. I don't think I could make it up with this, but why is it so unknown? I mean, that's exactly the question I posed this morning, is pick something that no one knows anything about in the animal world. Anyway, the primary reason for the tardigrade being unknown is simple. Its size. Being virtually invisible, it plays out in critical role on stage we cannot see. It doesn't pollinate our crops. We can't, domesticate it. And it doesn't cause any known diseases. Its importance is foundational and indirect, making it easy to overlook in a world focused on macro level life. The tardigrade is the ultimate unsung hero, a microscopic janitor. Environmental engineers, another word for janitor. And some of my best friends in school were the janitors. Anyway, pioneer and scientific marvel all rolled into one. It is a testament to the resilience of life and humbling reminder that most important things often come in very small packages. I don't think my wife would look forward to having this as a gift for the holidays. But anyway, okay, and raise your hand if you have any questions. That said, I want to thank you for being here. And you're going to see down in the lower left-hand corner, if you click on the coffee, small little, and that was my first coffee roaster that you're seeing in the left. If you kind of go over that with your mouse, you'll see a link that will take you, if you're interested, to my coffee channel, which is Power Coffee News. And I was, and going to do it again, I was a coffee roaster, and I kind of detailed some of what I did and what I did to get there, and all the things, how you can mess things up, how you can burn coffee. But anyway, it's something that if you say, well, I just use the coffee pods and that's it, I get it, not that interesting. But you'll never know coffee as well until you actually roast your own, take care of your own, grind your own. You will enjoy it and have fun. Now, what I did, and not to make this longer, but I started a coffee business, even though I was still in the generator business, and I just loved coffee, or the topics, the information, the history. I mean, there have been wars fought over coffee. So anyway, and I also have done a book on the wonderful world of coffee that I'll probably show you up at my other channel. But anyway, I want to thank you for being here. It's a Sunday, and we're hoping that you all do real well. And I know, and I keep saying this in my presentations, I know we're facing some pretty unusual challenges that don't even need to be challenges, but that's the way it went. So I wish you all the best for getting us through what's been going on for the last approximately 8 months. It is 8 months. Woo. But anyway, thank you. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. So please stay well and try to smile. Anyway, thank you very much again.